alongside the professor, Jeff Dewar. Here again, bringing you some exciting Merrimack Tomahawks wrestling. Today we welcome in our friends from Bishop Guertin High School.
Yeah, Mike, it's great to see Bishop Guertin here. Merrimack traditionally ends their season with a duel against Bishop Guertin. It's happened that way for years, and of course that tradition is going to continue this morning. And a special night for you and I, and for a few of these folks here, as our kids are seniors, and this is the very last regular season duel that we'll be having the pleasure of watching here in New Hampshire. So looking forward to that.
Absolutely.
We're going to start at 170 pounds today, and then end up with 160.
Yep, and then we have a pretty reasonable slate of JV matches that we're going to see after the varsity duel.
Yeah, we don't have too many holes in the lineup, so we should have a full morning.
Yep, and like you said, we are always happy to see BG. We're just chatting with some of the BG coaches and parents that we've known for a long time through the youth program, and they come in here with a pretty full squad. I think, as far as I can tell, the only full lineup I've seen of all the schools that we've faced and some of the scores I've seen. So they've got a good thing going with their program.
Yeah, it looks like they and Merrimack have both kind of picked up a few freshmen this year, so that certainly helps. And and Bishop Guertin, I was commenting to one of the coaches a couple of years ago. They didn't have a very big squad at all, and it looks like for one reason or another, during this COVID year, they've got twice as many kids as they did 2 years ago, which is great to see.
Yep, absolutely. They're bucking the trend in that respect. So we have a little bit of housekeeping to do here, a couple of announcements, and we're going to get started at the 170 weight class. And then we're going to see a few forfeits up at the top weight classes. Merrimack doesn't have anyone at 195, 220, or heavyweight. So it's going to be a quick transition back to the lighter folks starting at 106.
Yeah,
again,
and then
we should have 11 matches.
106 through 160, we should have every weight class filled, and there's a couple of good matches that we're looking forward to seeing in there.
Absolutely. So we want to welcome everybody who's tuned in. I'm sure there are a lot of BG parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles, cousins, and the like. We're sorry that you can't be here. It's always good to have those folks in with us. And of course, Merrimack folks as well. And then the rest of the contingent probably just tuning in to listen to us, Jeff, because of
got quite a following. I think you're
yeah.
very big on Instagram,
Exactly.
Mike, from what I
Exactly.
understand.
So, Coach Dine just going through a quick senior recognition program. Anthony Maglio coming out. Wasn't part of the original senior ceremony earlier in the season, and here come his mom and dad, who we know very well, Rob and Stephanie, and presenting the flowers to his mom.
Right. Great to see the coach
Yeah.
giving him that recognition here.
Absolutely.
Before the season ends.
Anthony's been in the Merrimack program since he was half that height, so it's been a lot of years, and he's in tight with our kids. That's sort of a core
Absolutely.
group of kids from 10 years ago. just before we jump into the action here at 170, we want to remind you you're joining us here on Merrimack TV, whether you're watching on your local cable station, Roku, a couple different ways on the website. And we really appreciate the folks at Merrimack TV stepping up during this winter sports season, not just for wrestling, but basketball, hockey, everything that they're doing for the community. If you're interested in Merrimack TV, you can reach out to Nicholas or Justin at Merrimack TV at merrimacknh.gov. And thanks again to those two guys and everyone else that's helping us put this together today.
All right, we're going to get started at 170 pounds, and for Merrimack, of course, we have Colin Jones, one of our team captains, and for BG, a kid named JJ Murphy, who I've watched wrestle since he was probably second or third grade, and Anson wrestled him a lot last year, so I got to see him at 152 pounds, and he's a big kid. He's primarily a stud in lacrosse, so that is his main sport, but obviously he's pretty good at wrestling as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Just kind of got the best of Colin there.
So that was a quick one. Sorry to see that end so quickly for Colin. Like we said, JJ's been doing this for 10 years.
Yeah.
So Colin certainly had his hands full with that. And now we're going to go through what I believe is a few forfeits here at the heavier weights, and then come back for our lighter weights. So for Bishop Guertin, that's Matthew Ha at 182 pounds, who is taking their forfeit.
Matthew's a junior, fourth place at D2s last year, and actually, I think we got our signals crossed here. He's going to be wrestling Gabe Victor, and who's going to be wrestling at 182 today. So this should be a good matchup.
You know what? That's right. We're going to see the forfeits at 95 and above.
Yep.
My mistake. How could anyone forget about Gabe? That's
Absolutely. So these are two big, strong kids here. They're going to feel each other out.
Gabe, another senior on the Merrimack squad. Started wrestling in high school and
got that headlock wrapped up. Gabe doesn't want to give it to him, but
he's going to fight that and come out the back and get a reversal. So
good move by
Ha
Gabe.
with a takedown and some back points, but Gabe is able to reverse him and get on top. See if he can go to work and even up the score.
Gabe staying
Is
heavy
it correct,
on top.
Mike, that they didn't award any back points? Was Gabe able to get a...
Yeah, I guess...
I think he had an angle on his back. He wasn't quite getting any swipes there. So it's just... if there were no back points awarded, it should be 2-2.
Yeah, we might have to get a clarification between periods if there was a takedown awarded there. Gabe got that arm locked up.
Gabe's got a bar, and he's trying to run that around, see if he can get...
Nice move by Ha to twist through that.
Gabe didn't have that quite tight enough to be able to hold him. Back up, and escape, quick takedown, and he's on top.
Coming up on 15 seconds left. Gabe would love to squeeze a point out here.
He's trying to dig a wrist out there and see if he can get a turn real quick. I don't think he's going to have time. He's got 5 seconds left. And we'll be going to the second period.
All right. A lot of good action there in the first period, Jeff. Choice to Merrimack. Gabe coming over for maybe a little injury time. So while we have a minute here, Jeff, let's maybe talk a little bit about the seniors on both sides. If you want to start with BG. Well, we'll start with Zach Rio, who we know really well. Just chatting with his dad. Want to say hello to his mom, Kristen, and his sister, and everyone else that's tuning in to root for him.
Yeah,
you know him well.
I know Zach. I know the whole family very well, and there's never been a better kid. I love that kid. Anson and I have traveled with the Rios over the past year and got to know his father Dave very well. They're just a fine family.
Absolutely.
And, a couple of years ago, we saw Anson bump up to wrestle Zach at the BG duel, and that was fun. Zach got the better of him, and it looks like today Zach is wrestling up a little bit. He's normally 145 or 152 this year, but I think to make space in the lineup, he's been wrestling 160 all year, and it looks like he'll be kind of doing a little bump up there and wrestling Anson, so that's the one we'll end on,
yep.
And that should be fun to see. But again, Zach, he's been a state champion, won divisionals a few times, qualified for New England's a couple times. He's a fine wrestler. And then, of course, we have Adam Seswick at 220. He was a 220 D2 runner-up, and he's also a football player for BG. And looks like as we go back through the lineup, through the lower weights, there's getting Calvin Jazokas, and forgive me, I'm not familiar with the name, but it looks like he's also a lacrosse player. I don't know if J.J. Murphy recruited him onto the wrestling team,
right.
But it's always good to have more athletic kids showing up from these other sports,
yeah.
And committed to Wentworth. So I'm assuming he's probably a pretty good lacrosse player.
So congratulations to those seniors for BG. We'll be highlighting the Merrimack kids as well, but we just wanted to give them a nod as we get the action started.
Dan Stawaz, another one. We'll see at 145. So we're back to wrestling. Gabe was in the down position looking for an escape. He's stood up. Ref's going to call potentially dangerous with Ha on his back like that. 15 seconds burned off that period. Gabe fighting for hand control and trying to stay in bounds while he breaks the hands and turns. Should be given a point for escape there.
Back to the headlock throw.
Yeah, BG's known for throwing a headlock every once in a while, so they go to that quite often.
And he was able to turn.
And he got it.
Yep. You can see him walking towards the head to try and flatten him out on his back. Gabe's chasing him. Nice work by Gabe.
Yeah, able to come out of that. That was good.
He just wants to get that left arm out of there. He's just exposed.
He's got to get back up and get his 1 point escape. He's got it. And they're back in neutral. Ha going back to trying to throw him again. He's got those double overhooks, and he's trying to trip him and throw him at the same time.
30 seconds. So 7-4 right now in favor of Ha. Gabe's got an idea of his own to throw. Should be 8-4 if we gave him one. Wrapping up the second period here. Good match. Yep, so coach coming over just to make sure that escape gets counted, and it is. So it's 8-4.
8-4, we got a 4 point gap here. kids are going to be in neutral.
So Ha's choice, he'd rather be on his feet. It's worked out for him so far.
We go into the third period.
So Gabe might want to work something down low. And
he's got to get some
there
offense going.
Yep, he wants to stay away from these headlocks.
That was a nice-looking shot. See if he can finish.
Nice trip.
He's got his 2.
Closes the gap to 8-6.
He's got to. Now, I would say if he's not able to get him turned after 20 or 30 seconds, he's just going to have to let him up and start seeing if he can get some takedowns quickly.
Right. And you can see how it's working that strong base. He just got a stalling warning, so Ha's not able to just sit there and run the clock
Gabe
out.
keeps working. He might get another point out of that with stalling, but no, I got a stalemate. The ref wants to see some action.
Yeah. So just for those that aren't familiar, if these guys get into a position that is just, there's no movement, there's nothing happening, the ref will blow the whistle and start them over again. So minute 15, down by 2. Gabe trying to work on top, get Ha turned. Now Ha's really got to work on the bottom so he doesn't give up any stall points. Gabe trying to get something underneath on the left side there.
Got 50 seconds left. He really needs to let him up and just take him down a couple times. He's going to have a tough time.
Yep. And Ha's experienced. He knows what's going on here. So Ha was just.
Now it's 1 point. He should cut him right now and go for a takedown. Tie it up. We got 30 seconds left.
Just let him go. Yep.
He needs
so
to
here
go.
we go. 15 seconds,
Gabe
down by 2.
needs to go fast. He needs to go. He's got 10 seconds.
See if he can. Ha doing a good job extending.
Gabe needs to drive into him, turn the corner. That's it. Almost.
Great match. Good work by both wrestlers.
Ha comes out with the victory there. And now we're entering that phase where we're going to see a few forfeits.
Yeah, so
Gabe Victal, we really didn't talk about him. It's great to see him finishing his senior year again. Fantastic kid.
Absolutely.
Like we said, started wrestling in high school. He's been very dedicated during the last few years, and good to see him able to wrestle this last match. Now we have a few forfeits, and then I believe we have. We're going to come around to Miss Molly Brody.
We are.
Wrestling at 106 pounds.
So if she works hard, she'll get a ride home. If not, she's walking. We'll see what happens. But first we should have Richard Ronzio. He's just going to come out and get his hand raised at 195. So that's going to be 6 more team points for VG. Getting the mats cleaned up, getting ready to go. Coach is directing traffic a little bit.
We have Adam Seswick, senior, 220 D2 runner-up, football player coming out and taking the forfeit.
And for Merrimack, unfortunately, an injury at heavyweight with Glenn McNay, who had an ankle injury.
Also
a
senior.
Also a senior, yep.
Sorry to see him on the sidelines for this last duel, but. And at heavyweight.
So another 6 points.
Forgive me, we have two folks here listed for BG, Zach Connerly and Rocco Sirachi. I apologize, I'm not sure, I didn't catch who that was that just checked in.
Whoever he was the strong silent type. He didn't give his name when he got to the table.
That is right.
So now we come back to the 106 weight class. We have Brennan Pelletier, a freshman, Molly Brody, senior from Merrimack, And again, this is you know, the culmination of a lot of years, a lot of matches, and you know, whatever happens, it's been a good career. Happy to see the kids get one last bout in here.
Yeah, I've known Molly since the kids were third grade, and I said before, I think she may have been one of Merrimack's original female wrestlers with her.
I think there were a few. I remember kind of coming up to watch the high school matches when the kids were in youth, and there were a few girls that were wrestling. So maybe the longest tenured, I don't know. She actually took a little hiatus in 5th and 6th grade. Probably got sick of hanging out with the boys for a while at that age, which I don't blame. And but has come back and just loves being part of this program. And just got to let that head go unless you think she can get it. All right, that's going to be 2 for Brennan. Molly's got to move a little bit on the bottom, going for a tilt. She's got that leg trapped in there, so don't want to try and roll through.
He almost had her stacked up
that
there.
Western in, yep. Coming up on 30 seconds left in the first period.
Build up and move that knee, get her legs untangled, and see if she can stand up.
So we got 2-0 coming up on 20 seconds. And a stalemate. So the ref wants to see some action.
All right, so here's a nice chance for Molly to explode off the bottom. See if she can get that 1-point escape, get it back to neutral.
Ooh, and a little blindsided pin here.
Quick pin.
Yep.
He called that pretty quickly, but she was stacked up. So.
Yep. So, all right.
That's
good effort on both sides.
Yeah.
Good match for the freshmen. We got back-to-back freshmen for BG. And
the next matchup is Emily Angelo, another one of our female wrestlers. She's been wrestling for a number of years. I know her from the junior high program, Pennsylvania transplant. I think she did some youth wrestling there before she ever moved to New Hampshire. And she's now our freshman 113. Looks like she's facing another freshman, John Forcier.
Emily got her first varsity win a couple weeks ago in a nice performance.
Nice little Gazzoni out of that. Up.
Kind of got back on
trying
the heels
a little bit of a version of a Jap Whizzer, but I think she kind of lost that there and ended up on bottom. 2-point takedown for BG.
John driving, trying to turn her over. Referee counting back points now. Emily fighting hard though. Yeah. Got it flat and finishes with the pin. Nice match for Forcier. All right, so.
Hate to see that. I think if Emily could have kept it neutral for more of the match, I mean, she's got a lot of freestyle experience.
Yeah.
The more she's on her feet, the better she's going to perform. So, of course, she's getting better every year. All right, here's another one of our freshmen, Grant Deschenaux. And he started wrestling in middle school. Been very dedicated to trying to keep in shape and wrestling in the off season. So we've seen him improve in the last couple of years.
Avery Gallagher for BG, who's come up through the boys and girls club program in Nashua.
Yeah, so although they're both freshmen, neither one of them are brand new to wrestling.
Nice shot by Avery.
Avery with a shot. Grant's trying to head in the hole, come around. He gets the 2-point takedown.
Grant's got a leg in there. A little sideways, though. Grant looking for a cradle.
He's not going to be able to do it from that side. He's going to have to come over. Looks like he lost it.
Yep. Nice job by Avery.
All right, she gets her escape, and she's right back to work.
2-1 Merrimack, about 15 seconds left in the first period.
Grant had a nice takedown, straight to back points. Got a couple of swipes there, so that's going to give him 4 points.
End of the first period. We got 6-1 Merrimack. Nice job by Grant. Good fighting by Avery.
All right, we have Merrimack choosing down. Start of the second period. Looks to get his hips away and turn.
Avery does a good job fighting off that shot. Grant's in again. Another 2
Get
brings
back
it up
behind
to 9-1.
that arm. Yeah, he's hit a couple of nice little high C's there.
Yeah.
Looks like his go-to shot. He's trying to bundle up that cradle one more time. If he can lock that up, he's going to want to switch to that side that cradle's on. Now, she's fighting his hands, so he can't connect his hands. If he can break that free, he's going to have that cradle locked up. Looks like Avery did a good job of fighting that off. And Grant's going right back to it.
Yeah, he's
and
dedicated.
now he's got it locked up. All right. Third time's the charm.
Yep.
And he gets
nice
the pin.
Job. Nice job by Grant. Good match by Avery. So team score-wise, we've, especially with the forfeits in the first couple of matches, we've got BG out to a big lead, 39-6. Coming up, another senior from Merrimack, Anthony Maglio, wrestling at the 126 weight class. And Liam Chapman for BG. He's a junior. I guess we're bowing now.
Liam is part of the swim and dive team at also at BG.
Liam in on a shot. Anthony sprawling. Trying to lock up that. Oh. Liam getting some encouragement from the coaching staff. Anthony in on another shot. And out of bounds. Minute 20 left in the first period, scoreless. Maglio and Chapman. Like you said, BG likes to work the head from that standing position. Magley in on a shot here.
Looks like Maglia's shot ends up being a takedown for BG. Just wasn't able to finish. Now Mag's got to stand up and get his escape.
Yep, he's got to get moving a little bit on the bottom.
Looks like BG may have the cradle locked up. He's going to have to turn. All right, Maglia's got to fight those hands. See if he can get long. And they're going to call it a pin.
Nice job by Chapman. Good fight by Maglio. It's going to take us up to 132, where we're going to see freshman Mitchell Krupp for Merrimack. And so
he's going to be facing a senior for BG.
That's kind of been his MO this season. He's come up against a couple of,
has faced a lot some
older
upperclassmen, yeah.
Yep, and some studs too. So, but
this is Calvin Chizokos. Forgive me if I'm pronouncing that name incorrectly. Like we said before, he's a lacrosse player committed to Wentworth.
And Mitchell's had an impressive start to his career here in Merrimack.
He really has. Nice shot.
He doesn't look like a freshman. Got a lot of youth experience. He's got a couple of, I would call them maybe, errors of enthusiasm from time to time.
You're right.
Which is not a bad thing.
We've seen him get into trouble a few times when he was trying enthusiastically to do something good. So
but that's what you want.
But he's not. Exactly. He's not hesitating. He's pulling the trigger, and he's going to learn from every one of those mistakes.
He finds himself on his back here, but trying to punch through.
Looks like Mitchell's got a good angle to keep from getting pinned there, though. So that's good.
So 2 back points brings us up to 3-2 in favor of BG. 45 seconds left.
We still have a very tight match here.
Absolutely.
40 seconds left. We'll see Mitchell get his 1-point escape, and they've got it tied back up, and he's going right back on the attack. Let's take a little bit more time with those setups because he's got a nice shot. He just kind of rushed into that.
Nice move, Mitchell.
That was slick, Mitchell. Good job. All right.
Dad will be watching that one on replay again later tonight, I'm sure. That was a great move.
2-point takedown for Krupp, and he's going to finish the first period up 5-3. So a lot of action in the first period there.
Well, that's the thing with Mitchell is he's go the whole time.
And if he can keep up that pace for all 3 periods, he's going to wear his opponents out. That's
nice shot. Couldn't quite get the finish, but that's what you want. Little push and pull.
Again, he's been in deep on a few of those, and he does it again.
Yep. Both sides.
Doesn't get a takedown, but he keeps from getting taken down himself, and he turns that into a takedown.
Calvin's not giving up easy here. Nice job by Mitchell, returning him to the mat. So we're at 7-3 Krupp. Minute 15 left in the second period. And this one's going to be action down to the end.
Yeah, if Mitchell can keep up this pace, that's impressive. And I think he's going to if he stays in this kind of condition where he can keep up that pace for all 3 periods, he's going to end up beating some better opponents in the third period just because they can't do it.
Exactly. He's tenacious, to say the least. But even right there, he almost pulled Calvin onto him. He's just got to be careful with some of those moves. 40 seconds left. 7-3 Krupp. Oh, almost. Nope.
And
nice.
Mitchell.
He's got him for the pin. That's a great match. You can see
Mr. Krupp finishing his season on a high note.
Yep.
That was fantastic.
And you can see Calvin's disappointed. Guess he knew what he was going for, and he just got stuck.
Yeah, he tried to roll Krupp through, but Krupp was able to keep from being rolled.
Absolutely.
Put him on his back. That was a solid win for Mitchell.
Definitely. Great match.
138 pounds. We're going to have Griffin Livingstone Crooker for Merrimack. And Connor McDonald. Or wait, nope. It does not look like we have Connor McDonald here. This is Ben Staywaz.
Thank you.
Ben, not Dan. I said Dan before. My mistake. This is Ben Staywaz. He's a senior. Looks like he's going to be wrestling 138 today. Which means that we will have McDonald up at 45.
So a little jostling, as is known to happen with the lineups. Nice takedown by Griffin. Ben, another one of the seniors we were talking about for BG.
Yeah, it's two seniors here. And again, I know they and parents and everyone are really excited and happy that we were able to have a wrestling season.
Absolutely.
And make it to this point, especially for these seniors that have put in so much hard work. We wouldn't want to see them have to go without a season entirely. So,
yeah.
So happy to be here. Griffin on top, he's got an arm bar, but I don't think he's able to do anything with that right now. He needs to break him down. Needs to get Ben onto his belly. Looks like Ben is going to potentially get a reversal here.
That he does. Nice. 30 seconds. Not enough.
He's going for the cradle. He's got that tightened up. He's on the wrong side, but he's able to pull him over. He's getting some back points, but it looks as if Griffin has an angle to keep from getting pinned. He's just stuck. Well, I spoke too soon.
It looked like kind of shoulder on shoulder. That was going to keep him up.
The ref disagreed with me. So.
Well, if your announcing career doesn't work out, maybe you can get into the referee
straighten those folks out.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going up to 145, and we're going to have Connor McDonald and Zach Kusan. Zach, a junior for Merrimack. He's been a part of the wrestling team all through high school. And it's been great to see his improvement. Of course, I know McDonald and his family, known them for years as well. Connor's wrestled for a very long time. He's got a lot of experience under his belt. He's a junior, D2 champion last year, and runner-up at MOCs.
Yeah, it's, being where we are, it's funny seeing a lot of these kids that we saw, like we were saying before, growing up, and the camaraderie between all the kids is great to see. I don't know that you get that as much in other sports because they're not packed into a gym together, hanging out between matches and wrestling at Doughboys or the Barn or something like that. So a lot of respect, mutual respect with all these kids and their families. Connor quickly on top and then
gets the
cutting
2
Zach.
points, cuts him, and now it's 2-1, and he's going to go to work on his feet. Connor back in on a takedown, shelves it, finishes his takedown, and he's going to cut him again. Gets one more takedown, and it is 6-2. He's going for that cradle that we've seen. Oh, this is the fourth time
I gotta
today?
say, these you can tell BG puts in some
Cradles and
practice.
headlocks,
Yeah,
these guys.
Exactly. And he gets the pin
We got
at the
another
1 minute
pin
mark.
there.
And tall task for Zach there. Like you said, Connor's got the pedigree.
We should see Zach back next week when the dual tournament starts, and of course hope to see him back next year. Hopefully he'll be wrestling some in the off season and come back and have a really fantastic senior year.
Yeah, hard-working kid.
All right, here we have Joey LeBlanc.
You got Will Murphy up for BG,
And this
freshman.
is Will Murphy. Yeah, he's the younger brother of J.J. Murphy. And Will's had a lot of success in youth wrestling. Seen him the last few years. Also playing lacrosse like his older brother, the lacrosse family. But as far as I know, both of the boys have been wrestling just about as long as they've been playing lacrosse. Very long time. Joey's got his hands full. Will back in with a takedown there.
It's been really cool seeing Joey's development over the last few years.
You know, it really has. Another senior, started wrestling in high school, and I know he puts in a ton of work in the weight room. Improvement is really important to him. But once again, we're seeing we're seeing this cradle by BG that.
Good job by Joe fighting that off. A little aggressive crossface there. Joe's not going to stop moving and fighting for sure. I got that arm locked up. Working on dragging it across. 20 seconds, 2-0 in favor of Murphy.
You know, Murphy's been all over him, but Joe's done a good job of preventing any back points from being scored.
All right, we're going to wrap up period 1.
All right. Joe unable to escape, so we're going to go into the second period at 2-0. Joe's going to be on bottom. Was that BG's choice? Did BG choose top? I think they did. I didn't get it. I think they did, but I think they thought Murphy's having some success holding him down and possibly scoring some back points, so I think they chose top. They're going to call that bar potentially dangerous.
Yep. Didn't like the
Although
angle
he
of that
did
shoulder.
get 3 back points before they waved that off, before they called it potentially dangerous.
Good work here by Murphy. 2. Nice work by Joe. 5-0 Murphy at the 1 minute mark, second period.
You see Joe, hopefully see Joe be able to get his base back underneath him and get an escape before this period ends.
Good movement by Joe, but Murphy right on top of him. 20 seconds.
After this match, they're going to wipe it. They're going to wrestle on that now, just so you know.
Okay. Two seconds left. Again, like we said, kind of one-sided here, but it's 5-0. Joe's got some work to do, but not insurmountable by any stretch.
No, we're going into the third period. 5-point differential. I imagine they're going to put him on their feet. Yep. Give Joe a chance to get his own takedown, see what he can do. He's got a head in the hole. Coming around. If he can catch that ankle and keep chasing.
Yep. Murphy knows he wants to do just that, so chases him around and gets his own 2.
All right, we're going to call it out of bounds. Minute and 26 seconds left in the match.
So we were talking about Mitchell Krupp's upside as a freshman. You look at Will Murphy and you think big things in store here, huh? Do I have that right? You said he's a freshman, right?
Yes,
so,
absolutely.
You know,
yeah.
This kid's only going to get better and better.
Yeah, I would imagine if Murphy keeps working hard throughout the offseason, he's already one of the better kids at his weight as a freshman. There's no reason he shouldn't be winning states and MOCs and placing or winning in New England's before it's over with. So looking forward to seeing him wrestle over the next few years.
Absolutely. And to Joe's credit, he's working hard. You know, he's not
right now. I'm looking forward to seeing Joe get an escape. That's what we're looking forward to right now. There he goes. Back up. Come on. Went down kind of hard. I think Joe's fine.
Just a quick warning from the ref. Coming up on 20 seconds left. Murphy, one more attempt to turn in Joe here. And that's going to do it. Really nice performance by Will Murphy. Tip of the cap to Joe as well for working hard. So another 3 team points for BG. And so brings us to a 60-12 BG advantage. Apparently we're going to clean off this mat that we just used and use this mat again for our last varsity match.
Varsity match. We've got 2 seniors here. These 2 are no strangers to each other. They're very good friends and have been going back and forth wrestling each other for the better part of 9 years.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
this, like I said, they're good friends. We're good friends with the family. It's fantastic to see them be able to end their high school regular season facing each other.
Yeah, this is
And both kids have had a lot of success through high school, so we should see a real a
absolutely.
quality wrestling match.
We know that your son's moving on to wrestle collegiately down in Pennsylvania. He's talking at Muhlenberg College. We're talking to Zach's dad a little bit earlier. He's still weighing his options. He's going to be studying computer science somewhere. Bright kid. Got a few opportunities already. Just looking to see where
Very
what else
bright
settles,
kid.
and we obviously wish him the best. And
So Zach's a really well-rounded kid too. He's played in band and orchestra for forever, and played varsity baseball along with wrestling.
Yep.
And I think he's been very involved in their student government and things like that at
Right.
the school too. So he's kind of into everything.
Yep.
Very well-rounded.
He's been a good role model for the youth wrestlers down in Nashua, and of course his parents have been at the center of those programs for a super long time.
Dad ran the Boys and Girls Club program while you and I were involved in the Merrimack Youth program.
Yep.
And so we've known them for a long time. And here we go.
Great matchup here, and good way to end this duel. Some final instructions from the referee, although these kids have probably heard it all before. And here we go. And
All right, the other
rest of the BG squad coming over to get a closer look on that too. Nice 2-point takedown by
Dewar
Anson.
in with the takedown. Zach's going to come up for the escape and go back to the middle. Russell in neutral again.
So Anson's quickness working for him there. Another
And
two.
on one more takedown. So that's 4-1. Zach's back up
Yeah,
quickly
so-
though, and he gets his escape. So it's 4-2.
Nice block by Zach. A little bit of a chess match going on here now.
Got 53 seconds left in this first period.
Another great single into a takedown by Anson. 6-2.
And this is the first takedown where Anson's able to get him flattened down onto the mat. But they're going to call that a stalemate and give him a chance to start from referee's position. Zach's right back up. An escape. Anson back in with a takedown, so that's 8-3. He's trying to dig that arm out, see if he can get a bar. He's got Zach flat this time, so he may be able to try to work a turn. It's going to be a little bit more difficult for Zach to escape now that Anson's got that leg wrapped up. That's going to end the period, though. We're going to run out of time. 8-3 going into the second period. And it's Merrimack's choice, and Dewar's going to go down.
Would you rather see him on his feet there, or you like him taken down?
I like him taken down. See if
Okay.
he can get that escape point. He's had some good success standing up and escaping the past couple of years. He's gotten better and better at that. So I
gonna. Yep.
And he's got
Up he
the
goes.
escape.
Zach in on a
Zach's
single
in
here.
deep on a single.
And a
they're going to
stalemate.
stalemate that one out.
Yep. So we're at 9-3. 1:17 left in the second period. Back in neutral position. Oh, nice shot by Zach.
Zach's in on a shot. Anson's trying to turn the corner and see if he can get something himself out of it.
Yep.
He's got a crotch lock there. That was good for Zach to stalemate that out, because I think if that had gone on much longer, Anson may have been able to get that takedown. So that was smart wrestling, Rio.
I think I can hear Kristen Rio screaming all the way from Nashville. What about you? Exciting match between these guys so far. 20 seconds left in the second period. Zach got turned a little bit. Watch that knee.
And Anson in on the shot. Rio able to fight him off with the whizzer, and he's able to get squared up on top. Probably going to get another stalemate here, but no, time's going to run out. 9-3.
All right. Zach's choice here. He's also going to take down. All right. Quick warning on Anson. Questioning by the BG coaches. Nice escape by Zach. 9-4.
Minute 30 left.
Anson just doing a good job keeping him at arm's length here.
Anson with that left underhook.
Yep. Gonna reset. Nice shot by Anson.
A quick shot. He's going to try to hook that ankle, but Zach's got that crotch lock. Anson can get his hips high, keep coming around. And he's secured the takedown. Zach bellied out. Now Zach's going back to stand up. I'm going to call him out of bounds.
43 seconds left.
And it's 11-5. 30 seconds left in the match.
Zach in on a single. Anson stretching him out a little. Another 2 points. Brings it to 13-5, and that's the way it's going to end.
Right.
Nice work by both guys.
13-5. Nice work by both kids.
Absolutely.
Good match, good duel. And I think we're going to see some JV matches
So
here.
just to put a bow on that, a nice strong victory for BG. We got 60-16 on the duel. And now we got some JV matches coming up. And we have a special guest star right in front of our table here, Molly Brody. She's going to be recording this match for Anthony. And we apologize, we don't have the JV.
Don't have the
lineups.
JV lineup for BG, so yeah, can't.
Maybe we'll ask Coach Ha here. Coach, who's your guy here? Brennan. Oh, okay. Yep, he wrestled earlier. Okay, yep. So Brennan pulling double duty here.
Oh, okay.
He wrestled
All
earlier.
right, we got Brennan back here. Brennan Pelletier. And he's going to wrestle Anthony Almonte. Anthony Almonte, another one of Merrimack's 106-pounders.
I think that's being generous, though. I think he's, triple digits is a little ways away for Anthony. So we've seen that with some of the kids in the past. Another Anthony, Maglio, right? Took a while to get up.
Yeah, you do see a little bit of a size difference here.
But the boys get bigger fast, so nice work for Brennan, pulling double duty here and getting some matches in for all the kids.
And looks like we got a takedown by Almonte.
Great, thank you.
No, this is Sam.
Almonte's got that Western, so he's got that one ankle wrapped up, making it hard for Pelletier to escape. But
I have no idea who that is.
So, coming up on a minute left in the first period.
Sam, Randall, Richie, Josh Kyle, Chapman, Brown, Rosino, Osloff, and Kyle. I can't even say his last name. Sorry.
Thank you. All right, Almonte on top, up 2-0. 50 seconds left. Work that wrist. Brendan trying to step over and get that reverse, and he's got it.
And he's got it. Could be 2-2.
Yep.
And for anyone that's watching and wondering, the team score ended up being 60-16. So BG clearly won the duel. It's going to be interesting to see how BG performs when we get to our state tournament, dual tournament. Here next, should be starting next week.
All right, good.
All right, and that's how
good
they're going to
first period
finish.
on both sides.
2-2.
Yeah. Choice goes to Merrimack, and Almonte wants to be on his feet.
All right. Anthony's confident he can get another takedown. It's good to see. See what he can do.
Right into a half.
Held onto that head for too long when he got taken down and kind of gave that half away. Hopefully he'll be able to fight out of this, though. Long time, minute and 30 seconds.
Got that right arm locked up.
They're going to call it a pin.
So. Good match. Nice to see Anthony out there fighting hard. He's looking like maybe he didn't think his shoulder was down, but that'll happen. And a nice day for Brennan coming out and getting 2 wins. So good job for that freshman. All right, we're going to move on to the next JV match. And the coaches kind of scratched out some names for us here, so I think this is Shea. Chapman, sorry. It's got some scratched out handwriting here, but those watching for Shea know who he is, so we're going to get this match going.
It's Brendan Curley. Brendan with the takedown.
Who is it?
Brendan
Oh, it's
Curley.
Austin. Sorry.
Oh, is that? Excuse me. That's Austin.
Yeah. Oop. Trying to run that half, kind of a little potentially dangerous there with the shoulder getting up high. But he gets the back, so.
Austin's going to put him back on his feet.
So that's 5-1 after 30 seconds.
In on a shot.
Nice shot.
Nice takedown. Austin's on top.
Shea
Looks
trying
like
to
he's got his
fight
half
that
and he's
off.
going to try to turn him. He just needs to get behind that shoulder. And he does. Austin Shea
Nice.
gets his pin.
Nice. Gets him finished with the pin. Good work by both guys.
Forgive me for getting that name wrong at the beginning. These masks and changing lineups. My apologies.
All right. I think we know this next guy here for BG. Randy Brown.
Randy
Merrimack
Brown.
kid.
All right.
Yeah. Great kid. Great family. We've seen him over the
Again,
years.
another one of the kids. He was in our Merrimack youth wrestling program.
Absolutely.
Way back when, and then ended up going out to BG. We've known him for a long time. Looks like Cooper Carlson out here with Randy. And Cooper needs to get his head out, keep moving forward, and he'll have that. If he can pop his head out. There he goes. There's his 2.
I'm not 100% sure, but I think Randy is probably a senior as well. Do you know that for a fact?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. I'm testing my memory from second and third grade, but
I think so.
he's smart enough to be a senior, even if he's not.
There's no doubt about that.
Randy trying to use that head.
Randy's got the front headlock. Cooper's able to get the leg. If Cooper can pop his head out, there he goes, another 2.
We got 4-1 in favor of Merrimack. About 28 seconds left in the first period. A little off to the side. Coming up on 5 seconds left. We're going to end this period at 4-1 in favor of Merrimack.
All right, going into the second period.
Choice is going to go to Randy. He's going to be on his feet.
He's going to go neutral. See if he can get a takedown here and tighten that score up.
Yep. Back to the center. 5-1 Merrimack. Randy a little bit high here.
Cooper found himself
Yep.
underneath, but was able to scoop out that leg. So if he keeps scooting his hips and turning, he's able to get the takedown.
Good movement there by Cooper. Up 7-1.
I think Randy's got the wrist for a second there. For a second there, he had that Peterson locked up, but he lost it. And there he goes again.
Trying it again, yep.
He's got the reversal, and he's should be getting backs here. He's a little bit out of position. He keeps losing that. He needs to tighten that up.
Yep. 15 seconds. All right, we're going to end the second period. Randy able to tighten things up there. Good period for him. Good fight by Cooper.
7-5. BG is up.
So Carlson's Choice is going to take down. Up by 2. Cooper's got to be careful not to go to his hip here. Randy trying to work a power half or something here. No. Maybe a cradle. So Cooper just got called for a stall.
He must have been warned prior, as BG did get a point that stalling. One point escape. It's a 2-point match, 8-6.
Yep. Should be a takedown for Cooper, and it is. So 10-6. Randy
He's
looking
going
to hit
for
that
that Peterson
same move
again.
Yep.
And he got it. It's a 2-point reversal, but he's not getting back points yet.
So 10-8. 30 seconds. Ref blows the whistle. Potentially dangerous. Didn't really see that, but so Randy on top, 28 seconds, down by 2. And he's going to cut him.
Randy's going to give him that escape point. He's down by 3. He's hoping he can make up some of this space on his feet.
He's got to do something fast.
20 seconds.
Cooper's got to be worried about a stall here.
I think if Randy's going to win this,
5 seconds. Cooper's got to hang on. Just missed it.
11-9.
Another second. Great match by both guys. Good win by Cooper. And again, good to see our buddy Randy Brown.
Absolutely. Great to see Randy.
All right.
Good win for Cooper.
We got Hannah
All
Stone
right.
coming up for Merrimack. And looks like Sam Razio for BG. Again,
All right.
our apologies on any pronunciations, but I'm confident about the Sam part. 50-50 here. And Hannah Stone for Merrimack, spinning around.
And almost had the takedown there.
A little
They
bit
found themselves out of bounds.
Yep. Nice shot in by Sam. Hannah's got to clamp down on that half. Sam jumps to the other side. Wouldn't be surprised to see a cradle here.
He's
I was
got
about
the
to say,
cradle.
yeah, but good job by
Hannah.
Hannah kicking out. She's got to get her back to her base and work up.
Sam's got a half in now, but he's... Well, now he's got a little bit of pressure on the shoulder. He's able to get the pin.
Looking like Hannah thinking she was out of bounds. Good match for both. Nice job by Sam.
Now we have Curley coming up
All
here.
right. So I was thinking, Jeff, when Zach and Anson went out on the mat, if you went up against either of those two guys, do you last the first period?
Myself?
Yeah.
No, I'd take some sort of medical forfeit.
Yeah, I
right?
was going to say I'd be
No.
pulling my mask off every 2 seconds. Yeah, that was a good match.
That was a very good match.
And again, a great way to kind of cap off things here.
Yeah, two or 3 years ago, I could have taken either one of them, but
Mother Time has not been kind to you, huh?
Yeah, age has been better to them than me over the
Yeah.
last couple of years.
Next we got Joshua Ozeroff for BG. And these guys he's got to go to his
All
belly.
right, and Curley comes out on top of that one, but they were out of bounds when that happened, so they're going back to their feet.
Okay. No? Yep. Brendan, yep.
Oh, the BG headlock.
Oh.
Brendan was
Brendan.
prepared for it. I think Brendan paid attention to Coach Jay.
Yep.
Oh. Oh.
Try it again.
Brendan knows what he needs to do,
Yep.
but easier said than done. He's chasing it around. He's going to get a reversal out of this.
Got to peel that hand off.
He should be able to. That's.
Not 100% sure on the stoppage, but trust the ref. Maybe a mask issue. So 4-2 in favor of Ozeroff. Got that half in. Yep. He's getting a little bit high there. Ooh.
Curley can keep that leg and get his hips back underneath him. He's
Nice drive there.
Curly's a strong kid. Let's see if he can hopefully fight off his.
Maybe a little bit of a quick whistle there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
This particular ref does a lot of college matches, and they call pins a lot quicker. And I've noticed over the years that he's very quick to call a pin. Compared to his other high school counterparts, for sure. Yeah.
So got Kyle Grazier here for BG. He's trying to fight off a headlock. And does so successfully and gets the 2. So again, we're here at Merrimack High School on Merrimack TV. As we're wrapping up here, just want to thank everybody for making this possible. Check out Merrimack TV, check out their website. They've been great supporters of Merrimack High School sports, and we appreciate it. Thanks to Nick and Justin at Merrimack TV. Grazier on top here, looking for an opening.
AJ with the escape.
Nice.
And they're back on their feet.
AJ trying to be the aggressor here. AJ, one of the few sophomores here at Merrimack. So he's got a few good years ahead of him.
Yeah, another kid that I kind of got to know a little bit as he was wrestling in 8th grade for Coach Jay.
Yeah. And maybe as we're kind of wrapping up, an opportunity for us to say thanks to all the coaches, parents, everybody over the years. As AJ scores that takedown.
AJ gets his takedown as the BG wrestler went for a headlock.
So you
slip.
mentioned, Coach Jay at the middle school.
Yeah,
he is a big part of this
he had
program.
stepped down for the year. I don't know if he's coming back next year or not, but he needed to take the year off, and it well deserved after many, many years of dedication. No one in Merrimack has put in more hours coaching kids than.
I thought he was he ran the youth program for the first couple of years I knew him, until I found out, no, he coaches a middle school and he just helps out. So thanks to Coach Jay from us and all of our kids.
He's been a fantastic force for wrestling in Merrimack.
Absolutely.
So great guy.
Coach Tim McMahon as well, who stepped back from the high school a couple of years ago, was instrumental in the development of our kids early on.
Yeah, and pre-COVID, he was working with the youth program. I know we don't have a youth program this year, so I anticipate seeing Tim back in action with the Merrimack Youth Association as his kids are small and started wrestling. So maybe we'll see him come back up through the ranks a little bit. That would be fun.
Nice reverse by AJ. Kyle working hard on the bottom here. Got a minute 15 left in the second period.
AJ up 5-2.
Kyle trying to work his way up. AJ doing a good job keeping pressure on him. 45 seconds left in the second period.
Get to your feet! Get to your feet!
Good movement by AJ. Looking for something here. About 15 seconds left. AJ up 5-2, maybe looking to grab some back points here.
Seeing if he can get that half in, and
well, could use a quick call here. if you're Merrimack. And he gets it
Yeah, he gets it.
with 2 seconds left. Nice job, AJ. Good fight by Kyle.
Congratulations to AJ.
Yep. And that kind
And
of
that's going to wrap it up, guys. That is the end of the regular season for both of these teams.
the new tradition of waving instead of shaking hands. And again, thanks to everybody from BG. Thanks to Merrimack TV. If you're interested in learning more about Merrimack TV, you can email Nicholas and Justin at merrimackTV@merrimacknh.gov. And hopefully this continues. I know they're doing this for other sports right now, and it's been a big boost to the community. We appreciate it.
Thanks for watching Merrimack TV's live coverage of the Bishop Guertin Merrimack Tomahawks wrestling meet. If you watch on the replay, thank you so much. Follow Merrimack TV on YouTube, youtube.com/Merrimack TV. You can find us on Twitter at Merrimack TV. And of course, we're on Facebook as well. Just search for us, Merrimack TV. Thanks to Jeff and Mike for providing us with play-by-play. And of course, Justin Sles back at Town Hall for everything that he does. Truly Merrimack's golden son. You're watching Merrimack TV, your community, your voice. It's happening.
Merrimack TV is committed to our community. From gavel-to-gavel coverage of town and school board meetings to updates on town services and projects, we aim to keep you connected.
Good morning, I'm Kyle Fox, Public Works Director for the town of Merrimack.
Hi, I'm Diane Trippett. I'm the town clerk tax collector for the town of Merrimack.
I'm Captain Matt Tarleton with the Merrimack, New Hampshire Police Department.
And keep the public informed of every motion.
All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
And many moments, so you can be confident that we're here for you. Thanks for watching. Stay connected. Follow Merrimack TV on Facebook.